So thank you for inviting me today. I'm going to present my experiences and especially my job today at Virbac, where I've been working for 2 years now. So here is an overview of all my experiences. As you can see, there is a part of academic first, and 3 professional experiences on the right. So, I started in Strasbourg doing my bachelor and master's degree. And then I had the opportunity to go to the USA, to the Ohio State University, which is a very big university. In France, a university like that, we call that a city. It's so big. And then I decided to come back to France to do a PhD in the GEPA lab. It's in Nantes University. And after that, I decided that I did my time of academic work, and I decided to go to industry. So it took time. I thought about that yesterday. It took me around, from my PhD defending to my permanent job at Virbac, it took me 3 years. So let's have a look more in details of my experiences. So thanks to my master's internship, I had the opportunity to go to the USA, and that was maybe one of the best decisions I made. So I spent a year in the USA. I trained my English. I discovered a new culture. That was very, very interesting. And because French people usually don't know where Columbus is, I had a map. It's not Columbine, it's Columbus. It's in Ohio, and it's very nice. So after that, I was very sure I wanted to do a PhD. And I found a lab, the GEPEA, which is working on biological process engineering, and especially on microalgae. So I put microalgae here, and a photobioreactor. So my job was to study, to do a systemic analysis of carbon and energy metabolism of this particular microalgae, to design a metabolic map and do metabolic flux analysis. So that was very interesting, but I decided to go to work on more concrete projects. So here are the 3 experiences in companies. The first was in Lille, so it was a new city. Again, I moved, and it was a startup. So I worked on the production of very specific molecules. But the thing you have to remind is that it was a startup environment, and it lasts 6 months. And after that, I decided that I wanted to go to a bigger company. And when I meant bigger, I was not thinking about the biggest, because Sanofi was the next company. It took me time, actually, to arrive to Sanofi, because I had to change my resume. I had to think about my career. So my advice would be patient. If you know what you want, just be patient. And finally, I did it. So I went to Sanofi in Rouen, in France, again, on a very big manufacturing site, where they were manufacturing vaccines. And so I did all these interesting things that you can read here, but the most important thing, that it helped me to learn pharmaceutical company language and procedures. Because CGMPs, it's not really easy to learn. And quality management, it's something absolutely different from my academic experiences. So again, it took time, but it was very important to learn this language. And that's what I will remain from this experience. And after that, I decided, because I was working on the fill and finish production, I decided to come back to the lab. I wanted to work in a laboratory, and very easily with this Sanofi experience, I found maybe the job of my dream at Virbac, where I am a biological process development manager. So a few words on Virbac. So Virbac is a big company making a lot of money, employing a lot of people, and selling products in more than 100 countries. If we have a look at the ranking, you can see that Virbac is the 7th pharmaceutical lab in the world. But you can also see that the 4 in green are also producing, working for human products. So if we just have a look on companies specialized in veterinary products, Virbac is the 3rd one. So here is a description of what I'm doing every day. I won't read that. So I'm working in under GMP environment. I'm working on viral and cellular and bacterial processes. We are doing upstream processing. We are doing downstream processing. We are absolutely not doing research, only development. And we concretely, we manufacture vaccine pilot batch that will be tried on animals then. Also this year I had a new job, which is to manage an outsourced manufacturing. And this is very interesting, very international work. So Virbac gave me this opportunity to develop my skills. So I'm working, of course, with a technical team. I have interactions with all the R&D departments, and I'm participating to the lab management. So I learned many things at Virbac, and I'm glad of that. So my conclusion is, come join Virbac. Thank you for your attention.
Everyone who's presented seems very happy with the decisions that they've made. And there was a question earlier about going from academia to industry. My question is, supposing you make that jump and you find out that maybe industry is not for you, and obviously it's working for you, but in your experience, is there a window where if someone decides that actually they've made that jump to industry, that they need to then start thinking about going back into academia? Is there a time frame? Because obviously you're going to lose a publication record and so on before you go back. Have you got any experience of that or any views on that?
So the question is if I want to come back to academia?
Or have you seen anyone who's gone to industry? As I said, you're obviously very happy with your decision. Have you seen anyone who's gone into industry but then decided they want to go back into academia?
I don't know any example of that. I know many people from academia going to industry, and I don't know the opposite. I don't have example. And concerning my... I think you can. You can, it is possible, but for my part, I won't do that.
I saw a couple of the example of the reverse case that people who work in the industry and then come back to the academia, which it has very hard time because there is no publication. So the university gave the 2-year or 3-year certain period of time as a postdoc to publish, and then try to accept it and try to more give the flexibility to apply. So, but as we pretty much know that after you go to the industry, because of publication is pretty much shut down, it's hard to come back unless that certain company has a flexibility to give the like a research field research area case, they have the publication. But other than that, certain universities have that kind of option that give the postdoc position first, couple of year gap. But still, it's hard.
Yes, I know that at Virbac, some people from the clinic department are publishing. That's not my case because what I do is absolutely confidential.
So I think, yeah, Jonathan, just a very quick, because I was just going to say that that's about transferable skills, and you know, people from industry would have transferable skills that you would think would go back into academia.
I'd give you my own experience because I've gone in and out of applied versus academia, and it depends what you're doing. So there is a great demand for people who've got industry experience in academia, and if you're looking at the British case, there's a lot of demand for impact cases now. So how do we link back into industry? So I think it's important that we bear that in mind. And just one comment. One thing that's been really nice seeing your three presentations is your communication skills. Language is incredibly important, and actually having environments where we improve our social and emotional intelligence is incredibly important in terms of how we proceed. And I think you've all demonstrated that you've got very high levels of that, and it's an important component of success. I don't think we pay much attention to that. I think it's something we perhaps should discuss.
Thank you.